Back at it again. This is CJ with the GOAT Sports Talk. As we've seen, breaking news that's happened late last night with the trade of the third overall pick from the Philadelphia 76ers, trading over their pick to the Boston Celtics. So pretty much it's just a swap in picks. There's also other things that's going on in the pick as well, which we'll discuss, in regards to what Boston will be getting overall. But this, we're just going to talk about Philadelphia. It looks like they're going to select Markelle Fultz, which, is kind of like the jury's still out on Markelle Fultz to a certain degree, because you do see he has the ability to score, take people off the dribble, the ability to create his own shot, of course. But, when you're talking about in regards to others, you don't really know. So I guess in this instance, if he gets drafted, he will be considered more of like a scoring guard or shooting guard. He is 6'4", so he technically can play the two. You do have Ben Simmons, who's considered like more of a point forward. And I think they expect him to run the team as far as from the point guard standpoint. We haven't seen him play yet, so I don't know if if they're going to use him on the same level as like how, Giannis is used for the Milwaukee Bucks. And then plus on top of that, Giannis actually has a coach that was actually a point guard. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things you're talking about in terms of the development of a player into that point guard role, especially if you're going to make Ben Simmons like more of a Magic Johnson type of player. He's like 6'10", 240 to 250. He's very nimble, pretty athletic. He's not LeBron James athletic, but he's definitely like in between what you would say like Magic was in his prime and LeBron, as far as athletically. He has good court vision. He doesn't have much of a jump shot, so he has to develop that, which, I'm pretty sure he's working hard on. He definitely seems like a guy that's a gym rat. His dad also played professional basketball, so that's always a good thing when you have that type of a pedigree and a background, similar to like how Kyrie was. In fact, both of them happened to be born in Australia. So, and they're both their dads played, ball in Australia as well professionally. So, but as far as with Markelle Fultz, one of the things is like if you're using him as a scorer, that's okay, because usually a shooting guard in a lot of instances, they're not going to be more of the vocal leaders. They're just going to go out there and score. You do have instances of like of different guys as far as like that are considered leaders. But I think when you're looking from a leadership standpoint, a guy that has won 9 games, in his college career, didn't beat really big teams, and not really a vocal guy. A lot of times, when people are looking for a player, number 1 overall pick, I think you got to have a guy that's somewhat vocal and that also leads by example and is an outstanding talent. And I think as far as with him, he is a guy that more is a very good talent. He leads by example with his aggressiveness, and you can pretty much probably shoulder a lot of the leadership qualities towards a guy like a Joel Embiid, because he's really of a, Joel just seems like he's going to be the guy that's, regardless of how good everybody else develops overall, even if they all, a lot of these talented players that are on Philadelphia becomes all-stars, Joel will more than likely be the vocal leader of that team. He's charismatic. He's serious. He leads by example. He's talented. It's just that, can they all stay healthy? I mean, will Markelle Fultz even be able to play this season? I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on in Philadelphia, but they draft players and they're injured. It's ridiculous. Going back to Nerlens Noel. I mean, then they had Joel Embiid, and then you had Ben Simmons. It's like, what's going on? Are they all going to be able to play together this year to get at least some games under their belt? You can draft these players all you want, but you got to get them minutes. You got to get them, put them through the rungs of an 82 basketball season. You got to get them used to the traveling and used to the ups and downs of a series and back-to-backs. These are young guys that haven't had experience with that. So really the development overall of the team is like really, I think, 2 years behind, to be honest. So, we're going to see how it works out. Markelle Fultz probably fits on their team if they do plan on making Ben Simmons really the point forward, similar to Giannis. And it could probably work out as far as with the team development, and we'll see what happens with that. Definitely we'll discuss, the Boston, situation and what they're doing with their team, but overall, with them having, with Philadelphia having Dario Saric, who came on, pretty well last year, had a good season. Ben Simmons coming in, hopefully for them he's healthy. You do have, a guy like Nick Stalkus, who's a pretty decent, shooting guard and small forward. He can shoot the ball. So they got some good young talent. Of course, we can't forget Joel Embiid, who's, basically a three. He can get into the post. He can shoot the three. He's a very great defensive talent. So we'll see how it works out for them. But other than that, we'll have to just wait and see when the draft comes.